Oppo R15. As a camera phone once chosen by more young people. Today we will take a look at the screen market for this mobile phone. The LCD module of Oppo R15 original screen is directly ordered high-end hard OLED from Samsung. In those days, it was counted as a high-end model. It was also a popular mobile phone for young people at that time. But now, this original hard OLED that Samsung supplied for the R15 has been discontinued for a long time. Now the R15 screen types that's circulating on the market, divided into three major categories: original screen, OLED screen, TFT screen. Let's start with the original screen of the R15. The original screen divided into three quality types: original screen, original refurbished screen, OEM screen. The first is the original screen. The brand new original screen of R15 is definitely non-existed, because the original production line has been stopped production. So, the original screen that's still circulating is undoubtedly the original disassembly screen. This type of screens usually shows the following three characteristics. Number 1. Poor appearance of the screen, due to the evident marks after used. Number 2. The prolonged phone use leads to the obvious aging phenomenon of OLED screen. Number 3. The number of integral and good screens are very small, because the second-hand mobile phones that recycled from the market, 90% are all broken screens, and the only 10% good screen left may also be broken cover plates. Then the next is the original refurbished screen. Its screen is renovated from broken cover plates. This kind of broken cover plates that have been renovated twice or even more time, the price is the same as the original disassembly screen, are more expensive than others. By the same token, it has a smaller stock. In general, whether it is original disassembly screen or original refurbished screen, as long as during the renovation, having a standard process and good material quality, it is still reliable in quality. But the display aspect, the possibility of aging phenomenon cannot be ruled out. But both types of screens, no cost performance at all. They are expensive. Finally, let's take a look at the OEM screen. The so-called OEM screen is just the screen that cannot be displayed, then flow into the recycling market, that after a second processing, to renovated screen by repressing. This kind of screen may have some hidden diseases. After renovation, the malfunctioning rate is much higher than other types of screens, and the price is also expensive. Its cost performance is the lowest in the original screen types. Therefore, original screen types of the R15 series, we don't recommend it much, unless you don't care about the price and cost performance. Only love the original screen. In fact, the process quality of the third-party factories today have been greatly improved. It has even gained a large popularity in the industry. So what are the third-party domestic screens on the market? OLED screen, TFT screen. Let's take a look at the OLED screen first. The OLED screen that's circulating on the market, most of them are K&D 6.26 inches OLED module. The LCD module size of the R15 original is 6.28 inches. Because of this, K&D 6.26 inches OLED module is close to the original window size infinitely. Therefore, we are used to called it K&D original screen window. This is the origin of the K&D original window. The screen that made by K&D, besides BOE, is the best OLED manufacturer in the second tier. The screen that made by K&D, whether the functional quality or the display effect, it's pretty good. And compared to the original screen types, there is no aging problem with the new OLED module, and more cost-effective in the price. The OLED screen that made by K&D, as a screen that's circulating in the market for a long time, has been widely tested by the people at the same time. The quality and functional stability can be completely assured. As for the OLED screen of the R15, in addition to this K&D OLED module, in the last 2 years, there are a few other schemes on the market, like Edo and Tianma. But with time passing by, no one is doing these two schemes right now. Circulating on the market currently, basically only the K&D OLED module screen. Then look at the TFT screen. The TFT screen is divided into two types: in-cell screen, on-cell screen. Let's start with the in-cell screen. At present, the in-cell screen circulating on the market. As for the LCD module, just the JDI and AO. But things like backlight, flex cable, software data, and drive schemes are variety. Different manufacturers make different things. For example, the same as the JDI LCD module. Some manufacturers use a high gamut and a high bright backlight. Some manufacturers make it with ordinary backlight. The final display effect will be different. For example, some flex cables use double chip. Some are made into single chip, in a word. In addition to LCD module, the matching selection of these different materials all depends on the different cost considerations and the final product. To some extent, it will be distinguished into high and low configuration. Between these high and low configuration, there will be a certain price difference. As for the final choice of what kind of screen, depends on how well you know about the product or the reliability of the supplier. Next is the on-cell screen. Not long ago, a new HKC on-cell screen came out. As for the size of the original 6.28 inches, this HKC on-cell screen has a smaller size. Is a 6.22 inches HD LCD module. HKC has produced a lot of screens in the aftermarket, including the LCD module size of 6.22, 6.09 and 5.71 inches. Among these screen sizes, this 6.22 inches screen fits on the R15 screen perfectly. This HKC on-cell screen, its LCD module and on-cell coating film, all made by the same industry tycoon's own factory. Therefore, the TFT screen price is definitely the lowest of the same model, because it has a lower cost. Although the functionality is slightly worse than in-cell screen. This on-cell screen comes out for the cost performance, but it hasn't come out large scale of the market yet. It is expected that this on-cell screen will be set out in batch in the second half of this year. Of course, it may not be going to batch produce R15, since this HKC is more inclined to do best-selling models for foreign orders. So what about the future market trend of R15 screen? R15 is a domestic high-end best-selling Oppo model in 2018. Has a relatively large market volume, especially in the second and third tier cities in China. Has a higher user base. We believe that our maintenance friends is certainly familiar to this model. But to be honest, an Android model, especially for the F series of models, has a fast iteration. If it is for convenience, there is no need to prepare much stock. People who is already prepare in stock don't have to worry too much about the pricing drop, either. Firstly, the screen price has been falling for 7 or 8 months now. Besides, due to the rise of the US dollar exchange rate, raw material costs are all rising. We also don't have to worry about the shortage, either. Our maintenance friends, as long as you're not doing the wholesale, do not prepare large inventory. Prepare fewer. Then it won't be a problem. So far till now, we believe that you have a general understanding of R15 aftermarket screen market. Which model do you want to know next time? We'll see you in the comments section.